Today, I'm going to recap a 2017 Korean action crime movie called The Prison. This movie is about a convicted ex-cop who is bullied in the prison but successfully beats the prison king and becomes a ruler there. So, how can he win the territory? Let's find out together. One night, a businessman is anxious as his company's tax evasion has been exposed. He plans to flee Korea before the police can get to him. Suddenly, 3 masked men come and calmly inject him with drugs. Turns out, they are inmates of the Sungan prison and are members of a powerful crime syndicate who kill for money. The next morning, the businessman is found dead due to drug overdose and the case is closed without any murder indication. Meanwhile, Song is a convicted ex-cop who is going to the same prison. He was convicted of evidence tampering and even bribery. He was dubbed as Grim Reaper as he always successfully takes down his target. Due to his unfriendly nature, he immediately gets into a fight as soon as he gets off the bus. Unbeknownst to him, he has just entered a prison with lots of gangs who are reigned by a powerful crime syndicate. At night, he is immediately bullied by his roommates and is beaten constantly. Turns out, his roommates are led by Changil, a gang leader who Song has thrown in while he was still a cop. Changil pees on Song, but he laughs continuously. Changil opens Song's gag and Song bites his neck until he bleeds badly. Song takes Changil hostage and demands an audience with the warden. Then, he meets the warden and demands special treatment, to which the warden denies. The guard escorts him out, but then the crime syndicate comes to back the warden. For the second time that night, he is beaten and is dragged into a factory. Then, Ik-ho, the leader of the prison crime syndicate, comes out and orders his men to cut Song's arm. After some time, Song finally breaks and promises to follow the syndicate's rules. They let him go and send him to a solitary cell as a punishment. Meanwhile, Ik-ho as the prison king is enjoying his special treatment. He is known for his ruthlessness of eating his enemies' eyeballs. His ruthless methods paved his way to become the most feared person in the prison, even above all of the gangs. Aside from those methods, he also wins the authorities and the inmates by bribing them with a portion of his dirty money. The next day, Changil's men gang up on Song. Seeing this, Ik-ho comes and orders them to do a duel. Then, the duel starts. At first, Song manages to land heavy blows on Changil. Then, Changil manages to land a blow on Song and they overpower one another consecutively. Song catches Changil off guard and throws him to the ground. Then, he kicks him in the chest and delivers the finishing blow, resulting in his win. As a reward, Song asks to join Ik-ho's gang, to which Ik-ho accepts. He finally joins the gang and gets to live the luxury life in the prison. The next day, the warden meets Ik-ho's client to deliver the reward of killing the businessman earlier. He also leaves Ik-ho's next mission with warden, and he reluctantly accepts it. Meanwhile, Song is meeting his new roommates, Ik-ho's direct henchmen who carry out the killing for the client. He is surprised to know that they are all professionals in their work, starting from safecracker, surgeon, army chief, and even a butcher. Then, Warden meets Ik-ho to deliver the reward and the details of the next mission. With the details, they plan the next mission. They even recruit an explosives expert from another prison into the team. Within minutes, they break into the target's location, open the safe, and steal some items from there. However, one of the henchmen manages to get away during the mission. The news reaches Warden, and he orders his men to capture him immediately. To add to his plate, the chief also visits the prison to do a sudden inspection. He immediately feels odd with Ik-ho, who is appointed as a model prisoner. However, Ik-ho resists and plans to kill Chief. Fortunately, Song backs Ik-ho and breaks the tension, and he is beaten by the guards instead. Before leaving, Chief orders Warden to clean up the mess. The incident makes Ik-ho feel indebted to Song, so they go out to eat Song's favorite food. Over the dinner, Ik-ho is more convinced by Song's loyalty, so he gives him a mission to capture his henchman who has gotten away in the previous mission, in exchange for $100,000. The next day, Song commences his mission. With his former police skills, he easily finds the jailbreaker. Song gets out of the car to join the fight. After some time of running, Song catches up and immediately knocks the jailbreaker down. The jailbreaker is brought back to the prison and Iko orders him to commit suicide. Song receives the money but feels guilty of helping to kill the jailbreaker. The next day, Song is appointed as Iko's right-hand man. Iko teaches Song about many things to survive in prison and persuades him to go all out in joining the Syndicate. While Song is cleaning, he accidentally sees the warden keeping a secret in his office and plans to check it out later. Then, Song and the gang enjoy some barbecue together. Unfortunately, he gets into a fight with Lee, Iko's former right-hand man who envies him. Iko shows Song his favor in front of everyone by beating Lee instead. Changil realizes Lee's change of heart, so he invites him to conspire against Iko and he reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, Song has infiltrated the warden's office and finds out about his secret. Turns out, Warden has been keeping incriminating evidence of Iko accepting missions from the client. From one of the tapes, Song finds out that Iko is the one who has killed his brother, as he was too close in prying on the prison syndicate as a reporter. The next day, the client comes to the prison to discuss the next mission directly with Iko. Song spies on them and realizes something weird with Lee. He also sees Changil and his men entering the room. Turns out, Changil is about to gang up on Iko today to take his position as the prison king. To start off the fight, Iko throws a pot of hot oil to one of Changil's men and ruthlessly gouges his eyeball with a spoon. While he is doing that, he threatens everyone who comes after him. His reaction demoralizes Changil's men. Seeing this, Changil apologizes followed by tears and confession. However, Changil sneaks up on him and backstabs him. Suddenly, Song enters the room and saves Iko once more. One by one, Changil's men are taken down by him. Song also receives many hits, but he keeps on getting up afterwards. He successfully takes down most of Changil's men, but he is still outnumbered. When he is about to be stabbed, Iko saves him and the fight is stopped after the guards come in. At the infirmary, Song wakes up and remembers about the past. He remembers seeing his brother's dead body after being killed by Iko. However, the police didn't have the evidence to pursue the case at Iko. Song tried to dig up old cold cases with similar alibi, but his superior deemed the scenario as too big and rejected his proposal. So, he entered the prison by himself to collect the evidence and expose Iko's syndicate, which is what he is doing until now. Meanwhile, Changil is moved to another facility. On his way there, the guards drop him off somewhere. Suddenly, one of Iko's men rams a car into him and brings him somewhere else to be executed. In the prison, Iko is rooting out the traitor. He suspects Song at first, but Lee breaks and begs for his life. Iko orders Song to cut off Lee's arm with a chainsaw. Seeing this, the henchmen fear and respect Song more and more. However, inside, Song is afraid that his acts while infiltrating the syndicate will change who he really is. Iko realizes that Song is wavering, so he shares his goal with him. He plans to take over all of the prisons in Korea and asks Song to help him. The next day, Song is meeting his senior outside the prison. He hands one of Warden's recordings over to him and explains all of the conditions in the prison. Song is determined to see the mission until the end, to get his revenge. Meanwhile, Warden is meeting the chief. Chief knows that Warden has been receiving money from Iko, and he plans to uncover it. Then, Warden meets Iko to release him from the prison. He does this to clean the mess within his jurisdiction. However, the solution is unwelcomed by Iko. He rejects the proposal and plans to kill the chief himself. Once more, the syndicate sets out on a full-scale mission. This time, they are going to kill the chief in a foundry. Song sneaks out and calls his senior to relay the mission's plan and set up an ambush. And so, the police go to the foundry to set up the ambush. They get in, but find nothing suspicious inside. Turns out, Iko has taken a precaution and changed the meeting point. His henchmen come with the chief in a bag and set him to a scrap metal grinder. Chief begs for his life as he slowly approaches his end. With that, Ik-ho has killed the chief without any evidence leading to the Syndicate. Meanwhile, Song Sr. receives an order from his superior to abort the mission. However, he doesn't want to abandon Song, so he embarks on his own investigation. On their way back, Ik-ho hears about the ambush and sends his man to follow Song Sr. They capture him and Ik-ho threatens to kill him if Song doesn't confess. They set his senior on the same metal grinder while putting him on the call. Song finally breaks and blows his cover. He plans to take Ik-ho hostage, but his men swarm the place and immediately beat him up. Meanwhile, Warden knows about the police investigation and realizes his missing recording. He confronts Ik-ho and they get into a fight. However, he can't shoot him and Ik-ho manages to get a hold of the gun. He appoints a new warden and kills the previous warden right away. Then, Ik-ho orders his men to use Song as a scapegoat of Warden's murder. They plan to make it seem like he commits suicide. They lift Song up, but his determination to live is strong. One of the henchmen admires him and helps him to get away. Amidst the commotion, Song beats the henchmen one by one. Then, he gets out of the room to hide himself. The prison is on alert to find Song. The guards search the room one by one. Luckily, one of his old friends hides him and treats his wound. Then, he goes to Ik-ho's private facility and sets it on fire. Within minutes, the fire spread, alerting Ik-ho and the guards. Song also brings a gas tank and sets it loose in Ik-ho's base camp. Then, all of the guards and the inmates work together to extinguish the fire. However, it is too big and their effort seems meaningless. Suddenly, Song reveals himself and invites Ik-ho to a duel. Ik-ho takes a metal bar and accepts the invitation. The fight is fierce and tense as they overpower one another. After some time, Song manages to beat Ik-ho and humiliates him in front of his men. Meanwhile outside, the police are also alerted by the fire, so they break into the prison and swarm the place. On top of the tower, Ik-ho exploits Song's wound and the tide turns once more. Luckily, the police warn Ik-ho to surrender. However, he is consumed by his ambition and doesn't plan to give in. Song catches him off guard and beats Ik-ho as he laughs. Song plans to end Ik-ho's life, but his superior comes and reminds him of who he really is. Song spares Ik-ho's life, but he uses the chance to beat Song instead. In the end, the police shoot at Ik-ho and kill him. Song is relieved to see his brother's killer is destroyed by his own hands. The Syndicate is disbanded afterwards and will be investigated. The client has also been captured, and all of the cold cases that Ik-ho has covered will be reopened too. However, Song will also serve some time in prison for his actions while joining the Syndicate, to which he accepts open-heartedly. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.